Here we go. It's gonna be fun.
I like that. Remember that one.
We got two fun ones in a row. Let's see if we can get to them today. We got 30 minutes.
Voice.
Okay.
It looks like what his voice would be.
Yeah, with that. Yeah, see,
Hey, pork chops and applesauce.
with that crust ass he got.
He looks like he ties women to railroad tracks for no reason.
Dang.
He does.
Dang, that's what you came up
And he ends
with.
up getting caught with a gun that just says bang.
Yeah, exactly. Remember you've seen that cartoon where it's just
All his music is like, he's like the actor in the music with no vote, with no. It's just music.
The silent film music, circus music in the background.
His, mustache. Aha, yeah.
waiting on Dudley Do Right to come untie the girl from the railroad tracks.
All he needs is a monocle and a top hat.
See, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, see.
All right, see, so.
Kendrick, see?
Yeah. So Andrew Shulz has made news as people think that he was potentially the target of a Kendrick Lamar bar on Wacced Out Murals, where Kendrick says, "Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law." I spliced a whole bunch of clips together. There was like The Brilliant Idiots, which is his podcast, and then there's the other one with him and Charlamagne, which I don't know the name of. And
Brilliant Idiots is you're thinking of Flagrant?
Flagrant is the one that's without Charlamagne.
Yeah.
And then Charlamagne is Brilliant Idiots.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. It shows you how much I pay attention to Andrew Schultz. See? All right, so let's watch this.
Listen, I shut off my phone for the week. Like the week before, Kendrick dropped this album, right?
Yeah.
There's so many articles about this album that are about, I don't want to,
Yeah, it was about you. You were trending on my Twitter.
What a time to be alive where rappers got to talk about comedians for clout. A sub at a comedian?
Wait.
Hey, man, he is a comedian. Let's keep going.
Go ahead.
That's probably the best joke he's had.
Oh, my God.
It's crazy.
You're welcome. You said something that I was unaware of. You're saying the first song on the album is my song?
That's not true.
I didn't say it was yours.
Oh, yeah.
It is his first.
Oh, that's Nyla, right?
I don't know.
I think that's her name. I think she's sometimes on The Breakfast Club.
No, that's not.
No,
the
that
one
you
that's on
getting
the
her confused with
Breakfast
somebody else. Yeah.
All
The one
right,
that's
didn't she fill in for the woman that was pregnant?
That's not her.
That's not her.
Oh, it's not her. Okay. My apologies.
Open the song with Schultz?
The fact that he didn't name Schultz, but everybody assumed it was Schultz is for two reasons. Do you ever make jokes about black women?
I make jokes about black women, yeah.
I've never heard of it. I don't know.
Everybody gets these jokes. Everybody get these jokes. That's the rule.
Taylor, what's the line?
But Kendrick got specific laws. Kendrick got to protect women from comedians as long as he's got an album coming out. Kendrick's got to stand up for you
Yeah,
ladies.
it's the last verse.
As long as he could profit from it. He got to stand up for you ladies.
Thoughts?
Clown.
From comedians.
100%.
You know what's crazy?
Cornball.
I didn't even think Andrew Schultz when I heard that line. I thought maybe he was talking about Gary Owen.
Wow. Gary Owen actually took it on the chin. He thought he was talking about him too. But the kicker is he wasn't talking about neither one of them.
That is the whole.
Who was he talking about?
He's actually talking about the guys that sat on the couch and let him say this.
Oh, yeah. Don't let.
That's law.
Yeah, that's law. Yeah.
And then that's
So he's really actually talking to Charlamagne.
where he
No,
said,
not Charlamagne.
I mean,
the two guys he was having the interview. So the Charlamagne interview goes on longer than that, and he kind of alludes to, I don't think this is that. Kendrick was talking to the two black guys that are on the show with him.
Yeah.
That were he and ha-ha with him when he was saying this stuff.
Oh.
So he's taking credit for it, and he's on a press run. So Kendrick did you a favor.
Yeah.
Essentially.
he's first of all, Charlamagne can apply as well, in my opinion, because he's
Now you gotta see what he said.
Okay, I had to say. I see what you're saying, but I wouldn't be surprised if Charlamagne sat around and shucked and jived while a white comedian did something.
I ain't gonna let you say that because in this situation he didn't do that.
I'm talking about just in general, maybe not this one, but that's neither here nor there. But what I want to go back to the part where, to your point, where he talks about how this is like DJ Vlad level of delusion to turn this into.
Trolling.
You don't think he really believes this?
Andrew Schultz is 100%.
He's 100% trolling.
He is to me, and I don't know him very well.
Nor do I.
But from watching the clips and putting this together, it just sounds like he's just rolling with it.
He's not even funny though. That's what bothers me about it. It'd be different if he was at least funny with it. He's not funny at all, bro.
I think he's podcast funny. He's
not
like stand-up comedian.
I've never
funny
seen.
to me,
I've seen his like.
I've watched some. He can pod. I'm with Lone on that. He can pod.
We can pod too, but we're not comedians.
Yeah, I don't know. now, see, we might be. Yeah.
No, I mean, but this is the
Grow
thing.
my mustache.
This is the thing. You always have the option to say absolutely nothing. If you feel like, even if you thought it would apply to you, just keep it moving. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, and now you thought, okay, I can get some clout off of this and I can run up my numbers. And now there are people who are really like taking a magnifying glass onto your content because maybe you said some things that you were able to get away with, but now that you've decided you're going to say some wild stuff about Kendrick or whatever you said about black women, is like, okay, and maybe, and once again, comedians, like, if they, as long as they joke on everybody and it's actually trying to get everything, like, my favorite comedian is Patrice O'Neal.
Absolutely.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I'm with you on
But
that.
mind you, Patrice O'Neal was remarkably funny.
Yes.
Yeah, to me.
Yeah.
But I realize there's some people, like, he actually said, if there are 100 people in my audience, I don't feel like I've done my job unless 50 of them walk out. But so there are people who didn't find him
But
funny.
that's also one of Andrew Schultz's things. I mean, to his defense, is like anybody can get these jokes.
Yeah.
So that's one of his
And
things.
so I'm not, even if he has jokes, like, fine, he's got jokes for everybody. But at the same time, like, now when you try to run it up on Kendrick, and this is the thing, like, when sometimes white people say there's no, you can't have a moral stance because of who you are and what you do. And I think they always like to do this for rappers when rappers try to come out and say something about, like, whether it be police brutality, whether it be, whatever it is, something against women. It's like, how dare you guys are rappers. Like, the rap community doesn't care about these things because listen to this one song, and then they'll try to use that one song to paint the entire hip hop community. And so it says we can't be serious because, Sexy Red is popular. We can't care about actual, violence against women because, we like Too Short songs. So I think that's very,
and that's
very, I mean, I'll just say it, that's very white of you, Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, and that's actually an assumption of ethnicity that these rappers are actually talking about.
Yeah.
They don't sit back and tell you exactly what they're talking about. They might generalize it with that term. And I mean, granted, that is a derogatory term. But it's not bitch.
Oh,
that's not directly toward just a black woman.
Maybe I missed it. I don't even know what's going on here. Like,
so what happened was Andrew Schultz ended up doubling down on this situation.
I know about this situation. I don't know about does he have like a history of doing this stuff or something, or what was the initial thing where he said something about black women? Do you guys know what that is?
It wasn't even so much that he said anything, because, like I said, his jokes go. If I take that back, I have seen, because, like, there was a video somebody put up of just him doing crowd work, to where, I'm saying, he will, like, I will give him props. He is excellent as far as a comedian. His jokes, his actual stand up, just okay. His crowd work, top tier. So
that's an element of it.
And that is an element of being, because there are some comedians that don't have that in their arsenal at all. And so he will go after anybody in the crowd. And so, like, there are some people who will be like, well, who is a white comedian to say anything to a black woman in the crowd, even if it's in the realm of comedy, And so,
I remember what it was now. It just came to me what he said.
Okay.
So they have a trend on TikTok called the black effect. Essentially, is like when a white woman or some dates a black male and then their appearance changes or whatnot. They start dressing more
urban,
hip, whatever, blah blah blah. So his joke was, they don't want to date black women or something like that because they end up stressed out. Then they got to grow their beard out, and it was a line toward that as far as why they didn't want to date the black women anymore. That was the initial joke.
See.
So that's what kind of spawned the Kendrick conversation, was because the guys were on the couch laughing at him, pretty much downgrading and degrading black women as a whole, as far as how they act and
I didn't see that clip.
Like stereotype.
Yes, he stereotyped them, and Kendrick wasn't feeling that essentially. So he called the guys out for letting him talk like that and not give him any jabs back.
So Andrew Schultz replied to the stereotype of white men by stereotyping black women.
Yes.
And he caught the flack because he's a white man.
Or not so much he caught the flack, but the
The people on the couch.
People on the couch.
Yeah.
Because it was so the trend isn't like it's not derogatory.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So he came back with, black women are stressing people out and this, that, and the other, and pulling the hair out. And that's where he was at with it.
He took it a little bit more of a negative type of place.
Yep. Right. It wasn't like a TikTok trend at that point.
Let me ask you guys this: since we were talking about him trolling, right, in terms of what he's doing with his responses, did you guys see his response when he was talking about how he felt somewhat threatened by some of Kendrick's fans and how he felt like a picture of one of his kids was being played with or tampered with, and he started to get a little concerned and started looking sounding like a victim?
No,
was he trolling in?
I didn't see that. I saw him mention the fact that he was targeted on social media, but he also said that's what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen him double down, pretty much saying that if I ran into Kendrick and he was with a group of people, then they would probably beat my ass. But if I seen Kendrick by himself, we were locked up together, then I would pretty much take advantage of him.
That's what he said.
No, Kendrick is actually like a black belt, like for real. They don't just call him Kung Fu Kenny for nothing. So
he really do be on that.
He might mess around and find out, but he's also has been guilty of some passe Drake-ish type of things in the past.
I just found that interesting. Where
this is the perfect picture to have on the screen of him right now.
I did that on purpose.
What do you mean?
It's Jerry Seinfeld.
I can't tell jokes and just not be bothered about it.
He's just not funny, and
I won't say not funny.
From what I've seen, even his responses aren't funny. I haven't seen his stand up, so I can't say that his stand up isn't funny. But like, from me being introduced to this, I mean, I've seen him, but I've never really watched him like that. This isn't funny to me, and he's actually getting the clout off of Kendrick versus him saying that he needs me, and the guys are the one that actually Kendrick was talking about. So
yeah, I people like Andrew Schultz are kind of annoying to me as a white person because like he's kind of an edgelord in a way. Like he's kind of like he's like one of those guys that hangs around black people. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he does some stuff where it's like it's kind of controversial, and then he like defends himself, but then he makes every white person
that face,
and then he makes every white person look bad. Like it's just kind of like
it gets a little too comfortable, and then
it's annoying.
And then when he says something that's not cool, he's like, whatever, we're just playing here. It's jokes.
Yeah, it's just I don't.
Hey, everybody relax.
Yeah.
He's definitely that person.
So for me, as somebody who also is around a lot of black people and in black culture, and also under a microscope like that, every time something like this happens, I'm like, F you, Andrew Schultz. It's just so annoying. It's just so annoying, And then the comments will come out afterwards that will be like, "Well, see, we can't trust any white people because every white person's about to do." Which, hey, who knows? Maybe that's a thing. But at the same time, it's like there's no safe space for me. I need a safe space.
You need to find a safe place for long. Safe space.
I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't say he's one of them people that represents everybody, because then we would be pretty much saying that what he's saying is justifiable. Because he's
no, that's not what I'm saying though.
I know that's not what you're saying.
Yeah.
But when he went back to saying, well, I can say stuff about black women because rappers say things about black women. Yeah. He's generalizing.
I know, and that's the stuff that pisses me off. Because it's like here he is, like I don't know how to do. He's like this like ally guy, right? And he's doing these things in the kind of adjacent to the culture a little bit, but not really. And he's got those relationships, and it's just like when people like him get exposed and other white people get exposed to whatever degree, like, and all this stuff comes out, it's just kind of like, here we go again.
He's like, Charlamagne's my friend.
Exactly. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Charlamagne is somebody that people want to be interviewed by, so he's going to interview people that he really don't with like that.
Yeah, but they got a whole podcast together. It's like him and Schultz, right? Isn't that aren't they the
brilliant? No, I used to check it out, but
yeah,
now it's just like it's too long.
Mm-hmm.
Too long, and
he does. I will say this about Schultz: he does have like a really good presence on the microphone and all that stuff. Like he's a good.
I would agree.
He's a good person. Like he does. He knows what he's doing. But
this situation just bothered me. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know him well enough to really have any type of opinion, obviously, as we found out. But one more quick thing real quick. Should we expect Charlamagne being on a podcast with him? Do you have any expectations for Charlamagne?
I don't.
On this?
Zero.
Look, it's just, I mean, I don't want to compare it to, I'll compare it directly to that. It's kind of like when, you know, there were some questionable things that Jerry Jones had done, and or some things that maybe he needed to be questioned about, if you will. And Stephen A. Smith didn't question him because, you know what, that's his friend. So it's like you can only expect so much from their friends.
So, okay.
That's actually a good comparison.
That's fair, but at what point does Charlemagne become a sellout?
The thing about I was going to say about Charlemagne, as when it comes to interviewing or being around somebody, period, he doesn't back down.
For sure.
So even if they continue with this show, he's not going to pussyfoot around with him.
That's true. I don't think he would either.
Yeah, I don't see it. Like, I don't know if y'all seen the situation with him and Whoopi Goldberg on The View.
Yeah, so I caught a little piece of that.
Yeah, Charlemagne is not the type of person that backs down regardless of who you are. So
yeah, and I don't have any type of thoughts either way. I just thought that was interesting. I've seen that kind of bubble up a little bit online. So okay. Well,
yeah, see?
They whacked out his mural.
Yep.
Yeah.